a press conference that was held recently, where you have the head of the ISPR calling your brother, quote, a mentally ill person, saying that he is against the state of Pakistan, and he goes on to say, I'll read some of this. We will not permit anyone to incite people against the Pakistan army, nor will attempts to create a gap between the army and the nation be tolerated. And he goes on to talk about having his ego getting in the way of his ability to kind of perform. He would have gone begging with a bowl in his hand for negotiations, and on. Just a very unusual. Well, you tell me, how unusual was this kind of off the rails press conference?
You do know that a lot of people commented. I just saw it. I haven't seen the press conference, but I saw some of the commentary, and some said that through the whole thing, they never took Imran Khan's name. There are two names that you cannot take in the press. One is to say anything about Imran Khan, and one is to say anything against Asim Munir. Asim Munir, it appears, is like a one-man Pakistan. Like treason, everything applies only to Asim Munir. So like if you can't take a government officer's name, and that becomes treason, but Imran Khan, who represents at the moment at least 90% of the people who are standing behind him, and that, so the leader of 90% of the country says anything against a government official becomes treason. We consider the people of Pakistan, the state of Pakistan is the people of Pakistan. So how can saying anything to Asim Munir be considered in the realm of treason against the state of Pakistan? It's an individual. I mean, if they can say about Imran Khan has had several assassination attempts, right? He's been fired at, snipers firing at him.
And shot.
He's had another, and he lived to, like, he survived it. And then he's had another attempt. There was going to be another attempt when he went to court. So who's trying to kill my brother? And how can he be safe in jail right now? And if we raise our voice for somebody who's, first of all, illegal, these illegal cases, they have had to, everybody in Pakistan has, now it's gradually educated everybody. First, you try to finish his party. Then you took away the symbol. Then you stole the election. A party with 14 seats, you handed them over PTI's mandate and put them in government. All their cases forgiven, everything that they were sort of the intelligence agency said was wrong, forgiven. And now, when you have him in jail, and he was given options for safe exit out of Pakistan. So he said, why should I leave my country? I'm a Pakistani. I will stand here and face my cases. So Imran Khan faced all his cases. Now, when the cases have come to an end, basically they are at an end. One of the cases where all the lawyers say that his case should have been, Bushra Bibi and his case should have been heard, a bail application should have been heard 11 months ago. The judge won't put it up for hearing. He's given a couple of hearings. That's in hibernation. That's the case. If he's given bail, Bushra Bibi and Imran Khan will be out of prison. Another case, the last one has ended on the 16th of October when we were in jail court. The judge left telling our lawyer that it's going to take me 3 days to write the judgment. I have to go to a wedding in Peshawar or whatever. He went out for half an hour and came back. And then the next day that came back, that judgment is still pending since 16th of October. When he left the room, when he left the jail court, he said, I'll give it in 3 days. It's still pending. There's no date being said. The new date is 20th of December. Only because because administration doesn't want anybody to meet Imran Khan. So the stress is not on Imran Khan. Imran Khan is just angry that he's been isolated. When a person like Imran Khan stands up for something very basic principles of democracy, he says, I'll stand for the rule of law. I'll stand for democracy. These are the principles for a country. He's doing this for the people of Pakistan, and Pakistanis understand that. For human rights, he said, do not, if the rule of law collapses, nobody's going to invest in Pakistan. Our economy is going to collapse. So he has nothing to lose. Imran Khan has nothing to lose. He said it very clearly to us so many times when we visited him, that it's not me who's the purpose. My goal and my cause is much bigger than myself. So he doesn't talk about, he says, I will not submit to tyranny, what he calls like the pharaohs of the previous times, that I will not submit to tyranny. I'd rather die in jail. He said it so many times to us. Instead of bowing to tyranny,
instead of bowing to this tyranny that exists in Pakistan, which they want him to bow to. He said, I'd rather die in jail. But he always sends a message for the people of Pakistan through us. He said, sent it last time. Listen, there is a mafia, there's land mafia, there is sugar mafias. So there's a small group of what you call the elite capture.
Mm-hmm.
If you remain slaves to them, they will also enslave your future generations. So you must fight for your rights. I think that's something that all nations have done to come out of such elite capture. So what Imran Khan is saying is only what he feels is for the future of Pakistan. So he's not asking for anything for himself. He's never asked for anything for himself. The only thing he's ever asked for, always, I would like to speak to my sons, which is my right by law. I'd like to get books. Even but Tuesday when my sister visited, did you get me any books? Because you're in prison and books become your companion. That's your only companion. And when you're in solitary confinement, he was very angry about the mental torture. He said it's worse than physical torture to be isolated in complete isolation. All credit to Imran Khan that they have tried everything to break him. They've done everything. They put his wife in jail so that they can exert more pressure on him. And he says that they put my wife in jail so that they try to break, so that because of her, they are trying to break me. But I won't. She will stand with me and we will die in prison, but we will not give up what we stand for. He believes in something and he's not going to give up.
When you last saw him in court for that hearing that didn't go anywhere, you said October 16th. Was that the last time that you saw him that you've seen him in person?
Yes, that's because you see, our lawyers would tell the judge that they will not appear for the hearing if it wasn't an open court. And the only way it can be open court is if the family and media are present. So the media, when it comes in, are not allowed to come out and give and speak or give the news on what Imran said to them. So he stopped even talking to them because normally he would talk to the media and they would bring something out, even if it's censored. But then they completely stopped giving out any information. You see, there is so much pressure when the media stands outside with us, outside jail. Right. It's like if you're in Pakistan, we just got so used to it in the past couple of years. We had a dictator, Musharraf, last dictator. I'm telling you, media was actually free. Most of the channels came into existence during his supposed dictatorship. But this is absolute tyranny. Pakistanis are getting shocked. Somebody said the other day, maybe we needed this shock treatment to realize that we cannot afford to have this system. Right. And this is not sustainable.
And so your sister saw him just the other day, and it sounds like she's now been banned from seeing him for the foreseeable future because of some commentary in the wake of that meeting. What did she tell you about his condition and his spirit?
His health is fine. He's not a broken man.
It was Tuesday? Is that right?
Tuesday. Okay. That's about 3 days ago. His health was fine because he's not somebody who needs he's not a big eater, but as he says, I eat for subsistence. And he doesn't put much weight to a discussion on his food because we do not give him anything from outside. Normally, families send food to their relatives. It can be a daily thing, but we don't, because then the prison authorities take full responsibility. They buy his groceries, and then he's got a person who cooks for him. Normally, another prisoner, you can hire the prisoner, and then he's his cook. So he's got somebody who cooks for him whatever he would like to eat. And nothing goes from outside, nothing. Right. It's all checked. I think it's because they have to take full responsibility for his safety. But apart from that, he's got several cameras, like CCTV cameras around him. So the monitoring is to an extent that most probably the policeman shouldn't speak to him or give him any information. So there's a lot of fear that nobody should talk to him. So he is in complete solitary confinement. There are no other human beings that he can talk to except for the staff around. And that's also bare minimum.
And have you been?
So he was very angry about that.
Have you been in his cell?
No. We when we go, there's a special meeting room which is maybe 4 chairs wide, and there's a table. Imran Khan's our brother sits on the other side, and Bushra, Bibi, if they're both there, then they both sit on one side. and there's only space for 4 chairs. So normally, if we are more than 4 people, then somebody squeezes it behind us. And then there are 2 policewomen who stand on the door with us. And there are a few policemen who stand with Imran. So what they are claiming in their, whatever, the ministers who came on air yesterday, and they claimed that there was political conversation, which should not have taken place with Imran Khan. So there was no political conversation. He talked about Asim Munir to my sister and said, if anything happens to me, this man is singularly responsible for anything that happens to me in jail. He said that. So when they said, if you look at it technically, Asim Munir is not a politician. So this is my brother's message.
He's a government
so he's
worker.
a government officer. Right. So if he is as a government officer, if my brother says anything about him, our responsibility, Ryan, has always been to bring his message out. Bring his message out. When my sister came out, or whenever we all would come out, we would all listen to his message. It's a huge, big responsibility. We all would try to remember his words. We would come out, we would spend half an hour going through the message and composing it, because sometimes he sends instructions for his party. So we have to sift through the information that this should be given to his party reps. This is for the media. And some things that he said about in his message about Asim Munir, we actually edited. He was that angry. So my sister only used 1 or 2 terms. The rest, we suggested, he was very angry. So we normally don't edit, but we decided that, no, I think edit that. So right. I'm sure Asim Munir must have heard, because there's so much, everything is being recorded inside. So he must have heard what my brother had to say. My brother was very angry. So the point is to have a whole press conference based on what my sister said. So my sister came out and said that my brother is saying that Asim Munir is mentally ill, right? So now the representative of the military came and said that Imran Khan is mentally ill. So this is the level of conversation on media right now.
Right. Yeah.
It's about the decision is between who's mentally ill.
Right. And so when you're visiting or attempting to visit at the jail, are you told ahead of time that you're not going to be given permission? Because I know the last month you've come when it's supposed to be visiting hours by the law and by the rules, and then what happens? They just at the door they say you can't come in, and then you spend your time. Then you sit in the street and wait. Like how does that work?
You see, there were 2 dates. 6 family members from Imran Khan was decided. It's under a court order. 6 family members from Imran Khan, 6 family members for Bushra Bibi, and 6 lawyers. That means 18 people can visit with him on a Tuesday. And on a Thursday, 6 party members under the name of friends can visit, because there's no concept. I mean, there's nothing in the manual that says you can have political people visiting. So it becomes friends. So actually, in a month, he should be able to meet 24 people. And our concern, and that's what we said, we will fight for him, is isolation to be finished. We cannot allow the continuation of torture through isolation.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable. And the only way you can break his isolation is if he has people visiting him. Like, what is he going to do? What is he going to say that's going to be... If you keep isolating him, it's upsetting all of us, the family, the people. Everybody is disturbed. And people call us up and say, please do something. Please come out on the road. So why are they isolating him? What is he going to say? Yes, I do understand there must be some stress for because he's addressed Asim Munir several times in the past 10 or 12 tweets. So maybe that's one of the reasons he's been isolated. But is that reason enough? If he takes the name of a person, is that reason enough? Like, why would you torture him? What do you want to get? What do they want to get out of him? Do they want to kill him? Do they want to finish him in jail? They've already tried to assassinate him. If that's not acceptable to us, if we are not going to speak up for it, or if we don't fight for it. So when we go to try to visit him on Tuesdays, they haven't allowed us, they have infrequently allowed us for the past 9 months. The reason we were able to visit him was because it was jail court, because our lawyers would not proceed with the court without us being present. So that's a different thing. But as far as jail visits are concerned, they were very sporadic, and only because we protested outside the jail. We have to keep the pressure up. That's our duty. So when we now for months now, when we go on a Tuesday, it's become a routine. They put out a police barricade 0.5 kilometer from the jail, right? So that's Punjab police. That's the other provinces police. So they stop us. People gather over there. We leave our car. We walk a kilometer. We sit somewhere. Then they say, we'll let you know. Every time they say, we'll let you know. Nobody says you're not allowed. They don't break the law.
Right.
But when it's 5 o'clock, they say, oh, now the time is up. Sorry, you can't meet him. So when we put up a little pressure, they allowed my sister to go. But a few weeks ago, they were about 20, we said, we are not going to leave unless we don't see our brother. We don't care. We want to see him. We don't know whether he's well or not. We were really worried. Because there were news coming out in the channel, on media, that is he alive? Is he not alive? Has he been killed? You know, there were like such rumors. So we wanted to see what my nephew even wrote in his tweet, proof of life. So while we were sitting there, maybe 30, 40, 50 of us on a footpath, 1 kilometer away, half a kilometer away from jail, these female police were brought in at 11 at night, and they dragged my sister, who's 71. They dragged her by the hair. She was swollen arms. We had to literally wrest her out of their control. They pushed both my sister, all of us, into a van. They said, the policewoman kept saying, throw them into the van. Like, but we weren't doing anything. We were sitting on the roadside. So the next time, the anger obviously grew because of the way they treated us. I don't understand, why do they have to do that? So obviously it made everybody very angry. There was a huge crowd last time. Again, because of the pressure, because they're parliamentarians and there were hundreds of people there. So they allowed my younger sister to go in again. Now there have been 2 press conferences, one by the government ministers yesterday, today by the military spokesperson, separate 2 press conferences, where they are saying that banned, nobody's going to see my brother again. But we will be there on Tuesday because it's our right to visit with him, and we will go outside the jail. So what happens over there, I have no idea. They'll most probably, eventually they're going to arrest us. I'm speaking to you, they'll most probably put us in jail, or I don't know what they'll do with us, but it's not going to be, it's just that we've not tone deaf on it too. Yeah, so they're going to put us in jail. You cannot take Asim Munir's name. That's sacrosanct. You cannot take his name. So I don't know what the next step is. All we can do is we can stand up. We can highlight what they're doing to my brother. We could even sometimes question the part of the world which stands for democracy and human rights, that when it comes to geopolitics, one of the things that you sacrifice is just this. Right. Human rights goes out of the window. Democracy is forgotten, and it should not be something that's brought in when it suits other countries. So that's all we can do.
It does seem like the next step will be going after you and your sister personally. You've already spent some time behind bars. What was, how long were you in, and how were you treated?
I'm very embarrassed to say it was only 3 weeks. People have been in prison for months, years, and for no fault of them. People have died in jail. There are several people who got hepatitis. At least 9 people who most probably were released from jail simply because they were now very ill. And they've come out, and at least 5 or 6 of them died. One of them died in jail because of hepatitis. And they were not old people, they were young people. So people have died for absolutely no reason, but they stood up against this mafia. That's all I'd say. And people, I think, as Imran said, fighting for your freedom is not going to be easy. It's going to be painful, but you have to fight for it. Otherwise, you'll be their slaves, and your next generation will be their slaves forever. So we are doing just that, I suppose.
Did your brother have any advice for you that helped you get through those 3 weeks? Does he have any advice in general for people who are facing that situation?
Actually, at that time, he said, a few weeks in jail is a good training for people. It gets you over. It will get people over their fear of being in prison. And people fear jail. It's everywhere in the world. It's a universal factor. But generally, it's not jail which was difficult. Some of the people who have been to jail, and we meet so many of them who spend time over there, they're in very high spirits. For example, today we were in a anti-terrorist court hearing. My sister and I had to appear. So they have cells next to the jail, and they said, so the lawyer said, oh, you must come and see. There were 2 journalists who were arrested. They cover They're like, like there's social media, young people, social media. They have, I think, vlogs. They're bloggers. So we went to the bars where they were locked up, and they were in such high spirits. I said, what happened to you? Why were you arrested? He said, we were covering the elections. Which was a by-election on the 23rd of November.
Yeah.
And he said, and we were doing a vlog, and we were pointing out how the candidates and the people have been abused. They said they arrested us and said, you have just insulted Mariam Nawaz, the chief minister. Now you apologize. He said, we are covering actual facts, what's happening outside. But they're arrested now. But they're not arrested for that reason. They're arrested by being thrown into some case a month earlier. There is no rule of law right now. You can be picked up for anything. They will plant you into any other case. So, but this is not sustainable. There is brewing anger. The anger is, it's going to be disruptive. That's all I feel. The anger, people come and tell us, do something, come out on the roads, break the locks of the jail. So no, you don't break the locks of the jail. But people want to be out on the roads. They are very disturbed about Imran Khan. People are disturbed about him. So when you're keeping him in jail, like, what will happen if he's released? Like, we even don't understand what is the fear. He's not going to take revenge on anybody.
Right.
In fact, the problem with my Imran Khan is that he forgives everybody. People actually talk about him and say, Imran Khan, we are very nervous about Imran Khan. If anybody sort of weeps in front of him, he forgives them. So he's actually very soft-hearted, and he forgives everybody. He's just somebody who believes in what he feels Nelson Mandela set up, truth and reconciliation. He believes in peace. He's the most peace-loving person that we know. Generally, Pakistanis would be more aggressive, but he's one person who's kept people on the right path, never talked about anarchy, never encouraged people to break anything. He's always directed people to stay within the rule of law.
Did you talk to him at all about what's going on with Donald Trump's Board of Peace plan to take over administration of Gaza, where you've got the current Pakistan military-backed government has been supportive of, flew to Sharm el-Sheikh, supportive of Trump's plan. There's even been some suggestion that maybe Pakistan would send troops to help occupy Gaza or disarm Hamas. Did you ever talk with him about any of that? Did that come up?
Not really, because one day people did ask him, do you have anything to say? He says, listen, somebody asked him, like one of the lawyers, they said, there's a 20-point plan on which Pakistan or somebody's signatory. He said, listen, I don't have a context of how things are happening. I can comment on something if I have a context of what's happening. If there's a peace plan, the moment you use the word peace, that's something Imran Khan responds to in a minute. He says, but I do not know what it entails. If there is peace, if people have their rights, I support it. But he says, I cannot comment on something I don't have a full picture on.
Right.
So that's what he said on that.
Got it. So you'll be back on Tuesday?
On Tuesday, we go back, Ryan. But you must keep an eye on your whatever interview you do. Please keep an eye on it. Next time, I don't want you to be asking me about Indian attack, deep fake Indian attack, and I'm telling you that Modi should attack, because these are the words that were put in my sister's
You were
mouth.
telling me that your sister's interview got twisted. Now they're accusing her of being some asset of India.
Fake. Yeah, it's a deep fake used on my sister's interview. Imagine my poor sister is supposed to be saying in that interview or respond that Modi should attack Pakistan. You understand?
Right.
And the one I had with Yalda Hakim, what they did, that deep fake, maybe you should see that video. And she was quite shocked. So she went on another program on Sky News to talk about deep fake. She says, imagine this is a real interview. And this is what they did to my questions. I never questioned Alima Khan about anything to do with India. And this is what I'm asking her. And this is what they had a whole program on me talking about it. So it's unnecessary. And this is what the ISPR referred to my sister's interview to say that this is nexus of Afghanistan, PTI, and India. Like, it's like you're going overboard on this. I mean, I feel that they've gone a little beyond, I mean, three sisters become the nexus. I mean, your imagination, even for Pakistanis, I imagine nation is not stretching that far out.
Yes, that's a little bit much. Well, Aleemah Khan, thank you so much for taking some time this evening. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for, we need to raise our voice for Imran Khan. His life is going to be in danger. They've intentionally used what he said about Asim Munir, which is not political, and it's not against the military. What he said was about Asim Munir. He never said military. He talks about one person, because he said it's an individual doing this. It's Asim's law that is dictating everything in Pakistan. So when he talks about an individual, it's not the military. It's like, so you go and say that he's anti-state, anti-military, anti-whatever. Asim Munir is not whole of Pakistan. He's not the military. It's his individual. And if he has people ask me, is there any middle ground? I said, well, Imran Khan is in jail. If Asim Munir has anything to say, he can go and tell Imran Khan in jail. Like, it's not about us. Go and talk to him if anybody has anything to say. But to isolate him and deprive him, thinking he's going to break, he's not going to break. But if you think you want to kill him in jail, I don't think anybody will dare attempt to kill Imran Khan in jail, simply because all of them who are ever going to be responsible, it's not about this country not forgiving you. It's that they will deal with it. So will we. Them, their families, anybody. There won't be a place to run from Pakistan. So why they would like to kill him is because what is a struggle for power? My brother doesn't need power. People are behind him. The power of people, it's not Imran Khan they're trying to silence. They fear the people demanding a space in this country. People, 250 million people saying, we have a stake in Pakistan. What they are trying to tell them is, you don't have a stake in Pakistan. This is an elite capture. We are going to milk this country. Now people are saying, we also have a right in this country and we want our share. Everybody has a stake in Pakistan and we want our share in it. That, by the way, is called democracy. Right. So they fear democracy.
Yes, indeed. Well, Aleemah, thanks again for joining me.